None of your business. It's JJ Carter. We in the off season of the PFL. And I coached the the seniors, and I beat Shamel Jackson in a crucial fourth quarter defensive stand. Shout out to those young boys. Those young boys definitely did a great job. They did a great job.
Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Pioneer League, it's time for Sports Center. Yeah, highlight reel, you should check top 10. Footwork too real, shook him right, he went left. I put you to the test for thinking that you the best. You want a shot at a champ? Better get you a vest. We don't care how you feel, hitting harder than steel. Your destiny been sealed, still farm like a shield. I bring you back down to earth while we light up the turf. I keep that touch in my hand while you getting this work. All we do is just win, and you know losing the choice. At the top is just us, it's only me and my boys. Yeah, we just tryna ball, we ain't come here to fight. I'm about them cameras in action, we talking Friday Night Lights. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Pioneer League, it's time for Sports Center. Yeah. Time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Pioneer League, time for Sports Center.
Right now, we're in the off season, but right now the off season is like week 1. But I'm sitting in the man cave. Now look up here. I want y'all to look up here. Just don't look at none of this stuff. This stuff don't count.
This stuff don't count.
This is what you guys want. You guys want to have these type of things, these nice things right here, these champions. I ain't got my ring on today because I was doing hard work. But yes.
Some off-season meetings today, and the Bronx Colts had a MLF meeting, which was really cool. Get to see some of the stuff going on with MLF. Big shout out to Dexter Gervin and the MLF family. They're doing some great things over there, and the Colts have entered a new home that I know that they're going to be very, very comfortable in. So what else are we working on? Well, we're in the man cave. We're in the middle of the renovation, so you see we have still a whole bunch of stuff to do, insulation and drywall and stuff like that. So we'll definitely get you a full view when everything is finished. But what's going on with the Patriots? Well, the Patriots are shooting their reality series, the Battle Ready, which is going to come out in a few weeks. They're working really hard. Fridge is working really hard. That's something new.
Oh man. Oh man.
So you're Christ the King.
Yes, sir.
How'd the season go?
Long story short, we went all the way and peed in the bed. We dropped the big one in the championship game. We smacked every team. We played tough defense, shutouts. No team even getting first down for 2 or 3 quarters. We get to the chip and we pissed the bed. But the kids, I think they understand what the head coach and myself were saying, that when it comes to being an athlete, it's not about how you play. It's actually how you read the field and how you and do you understand the game. If you don't understand the game, you will never be great, ever.
Now, as a new coach, I mean, it's so funny that we're actually going to cut to the TFL radio show that I was on, where the TFL owner, Al Chambliss, was asking me about coaching clinics, which you'll see in a second. But in terms of coaching clinics, I told him, there's a bunch of coaching clinics out there that'll tell you, 3-3-5, or, how how they block, trap. But when it comes down to it, I told him there's a whole bunch of, there's a wealth of knowledge in the TFL, in the Pioneer Football League, and that those coaches are always willing to share some information, correct?
Always.
So when are you going to do your first clinic?
Probably March at Christ the King, and then I'll maybe do another one in the Bronx, maybe if we can get somewhere, and a lot of
he's gonna do it. So
and a lot
PFL
of
coaching, you heard it here first. PFL coaching clinic. Jay Carter is going to be one of the presenters for the PFL coaching clinic. We're definitely going to get that done. We're definitely going to have that this year, making sure that all those PFL coaches are definitely taking advantage of the wealth of knowledge that we have here.
It's the vision. We have here with us a gentleman that made a significant change in the way that semi-pro football is viewed here in the city. He brought about a change in the structure and added accountability to team owners and the coaches. He is the owner of his own youth league, the Pioneer League, as well as general manager for teams here in the TFL. And I'm speaking of Mr. David Patterson. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Good to be here.
Thank you, thank you. Let's just jump right into this. Tell us how you came on the scene with this, because I've been doing this since '81, and yeah, no, long time. So when did you come into this?
Well, I was born in 1980, so 1981 was not a year that I remember too well. But I came on the scene. I actually was looking to do some work in the community, and came across the New York Bandits website. So my first start was with the New York Bandits. After seeing Bill Batson, who's like one of the pioneers in this minor league, semi-pro, whatever you want to call it, I was given an opportunity to branch out and have a second team in the New York Spartans, which was a subsidiary of the New York Bandits. And from there, I just kept on branching and moving in different directions. And I think right now I'm in a very good spot, and in one of the most comfortable spots I've been in since getting into this thing in 2006.
2006, that's wild. But I remember the Bandits and playing them back in the day. It was always a big rivalry between the Bandits, the Big Blue, and the Blue and White from Brooklyn with the Cobras. You know, I'm talking about the Bandits when they had Red playing linebacker.
Oh, yes,
you know, when nobody wanted to go up the middle against him.
Well, the funny thing is that you mentioned that type of stuff, but a lot of that stuff, just based on the time period that it occurred, and this is kind of my role in this thing, is that a lot of those memories, all those things, they're not documented like they really should be.
Right.
We were just kind of flying through that area with no real pathway.
It was right before the technology boom.
Right.
You know.
Right. And the old New York City Football Forum and that.
Yeah, I remember that well.
Yeah, I mean,
talk a lot of trash on that.
Yeah, I caught the last part of that or what have you. But again, my role in this thing from the beginning, and some people caught on fast, and some people I had to kind of wrestle with or whatever. But in my older age, I'm starting to pick a lot less battles or what have you. I was ridiculous when I first started this thing in 2000.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
I remember when you was just getting started.
I'm far less ridiculous now. Far more.
Well, it comes with time. With time.
Yeah. So now it's more about building the thing. I think everybody kind of knows my stance in this thing, which is everything should be documented. I mean, we call it bells and whistles. Some people call it fluff. But, to me, it's about the players and giving them the best possible experience. And where I grew up in Princeton, New Jersey. So I never heard of semi-pro football until, literally 2006. So when I heard, I played in college. I grew up in a football family. My dad played for the Washington Redskins. So
and you're wearing Patriot colors.
Indeed. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a few. But, ultimately, when seeing what these players, just from the start to finish, the things that they go through and the things that they sacrifice to play on these teams, it's something that definitely needs to be documented. And, when their kids and grandkids get to see the footage and such, that's what I really have a passion for this thing. And we just got the Bronx Colts, 2-time TFL champions. They have a Hard Knocks film that we were cutting and doing a whole bunch of stuff too, documenting all that stuff. And those guys, I'm about to say kids, they're now 20s and getting up there. They're so appreciative of that. And same thing we're doing with the Patriots and, through the Spartans, the Colts, and all the things that we've done. This is the first time with the Patriots and the Tri-Borough Football League that we get to say, okay, we're going to be successful. We know because we have the recipe. We have the McDonald's, charter, so to speak. So, let's document from day one exactly how we do it, because a lot of people are, saying, well, how does this keep on happening. Spartans were very successful. The Bandits, obviously, are the system that it comes from. A very successful system. The Colts, a lot of people thought that they would struggle transitioning from PFL to TFL. That they quality product because it's a recipe for that.
Well, again, Dave, knowing you for a while myself, I've always valued the fact that you brought a business acumen to the game. I think there's a lot of times, even before you, when I first started, it was nothing, and I had that mindset myself. Like, you know what, if you could do this like on a Rucker Park level, or you can take street ball players in different sports and highlight them and make it a global thing. Why not do it here? Why not do it with football? 'Cause a lot of our players, unfortunately, for whatever reason, didn't go to college or didn't play college ball, or had some type of holdbacks, but were great athletes. And this is an opportunity to kind of highlight and show you that. So, I commend you for that. And obviously taking it not just with the adults, but with the kids that obviously now have the ability to play in a structured environment. And then what the semi-pro guys might have missed, they now have the chance to go to college.
Right. So we have multiple entry points. That's why I said we're the most comfortable that we've been now in a while, because literally a person can come into, and male or female, because we've had females. I've had females play on my semi-pro teams all the way down through my youth teams, coaches. My wife just did a clinic for some of the women in our league. We had the New York Jets do a clinic over at the practice facility in Florham Park. So we're really just branching out and just making sure that everybody is aware that you can any entry point in the Pioneer League product or in our system, so to speak, and wherever it is that you fell off the boat or getting on the boat or what have you, we have it for you 6 years old all the way up until the time that you're a grown adult. And I gotta say, like I've seen even with the Bronx Colts, we had a young man, Lance, who literally was playing on our team in one of the leagues in the springtime, and then literally months later was at MetLife Stadium playing for Benedict College at the Urban League game. So it's times like that you're like, yeah, this is the reason why I'm doing it.
Definitely.
Right. You noticed that when you talked about the Colts, you remember a couple of shows ago we had Coach Sean,
Mr. Kellerman,
and you see how he was talking.
Right.
You notice how he's holding his hands, right?
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing,
Oh, man.
Hey, listen.
I played with the Connecticut Giants for a while.
Hey, listen. If you earned it, show it. You know what I mean?
Without question.
So, but so tell me, Dave, how you're putting together a team as we speak. The Pioneers, New York Pioneers, I would assume, or Bronx Pioneers?
Well, the New York Patriots are the newest.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you got
I'm sorry.
Patriots. That's why I got it on today.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on Pioneers.
Indeed.
Oh, that's New York. My bad.
That it does.
There
it
you
does.
go.
Indeed.
Yeah, I would be proud. That's not the hated.
And that's why. And again, when you look at the website, everything goes to the Pioneer League website. We do a lot of media work, radio, television, and everything is kind of under the Pioneer League banner because we have such a respected, recognized product, and people, especially our players, trust that when they come to us that we know what we're doing. That's a really big thing. So the Patriots, I'm at the level now where I'm like the grand coach. So like I've coached, and I have very little desire to coach. And I'll roll up my sleeves and jump on the field every now and again to help out, especially when it comes to the adult products. But now I have players that are now owning teams and getting them started and kind of like getting part ownership where it's like a partnership, and they know that they're going to be successful because they're following the model. They've been raised in a particular system. And, there's so many times where you see that like the local team that starts up is just a whole bunch of guys with cool uniforms, and then it kind of fizzles out or what have you. So the reason why we've been so successful in the Colts and all the products that we started so far is because we have that stability. It's financially stable. The players can rely on it. You're not going to show up to the field and be asked for $5 for ref fee, or else you're not going to play the game. We're solid in that regard. So, Sean Kelman, Charles Hutchinson, those are guys that were Spartan guys. And when I was still trying to figure out what I was doing, and I was like, kind of everything was going by a million miles an hour, and Billy Batson was right there saying, "Hey, Patterson, it's going to be okay," and he was showing me the way. I remember that and just pay it forward, and when these guys have a passion and want to do that. So Matt Otero is now the newest, one of my grandkids in this thing, so to speak. Now it's his turn, and he's put in a lot of work to get this product off the ground. And in fact, he would be here today, but he's out at practice right now, and the cold and the wetness, getting these guys prepared.
That's good. That's great.
great
That's
thing.
great. How what is the expectations besides obviously winning and the whole thing? What is the expectations of putting that team together, as you said, and using players to be the coach? Because the TFL is a developmental thing, you know, and developing the players as well as coaches.
Absolutely.
Are these guys going to clinics to get better at the craft or to learn the craft and understand the dynamics of it, or how are you setting this up?
We have so much access to. I mean, we do the Glacier clinics. We do things of that nature. There's so many clinics locally. Our biggest thing is for our coaches that are now moved on to other things, where, like, for example, we have former Spartans that are now college coaches.
Okay.
So they'll come back, and it's not even a clinic. They'll be in your practice, and they'll be showing you some things. They'll look at your practice plan, and they'll show you some things. And I'll have the Pioneer League guys, like the 10 and unders and the 12 and unders, those coaches, they'll come to the Bronx Colts practice, and they'll check out what Sean Kelman and Charles Hutchinson do. Those guys are collegiately trained. So it's kind of like, we will go to the Glacier clinic. We will go to one of those clinics. But those clinics are more traditional X's and O's. They're going to tell you how to run trap or how they run, a 3-3-5 scheme or whatever. But tell me about, like, how I can get my team motivated and get them on the field. What should my structure look like? How do I get these guys to respect my practice? And what happens if, let's say, it's raining and it's like horrible weather, it's the first 2 weeks of practice, and I only have 7 guys in my practice? I'll work a practice, and those 7 guys will have the best workout of their life, and they'll tell 7 more guys, and then that's how my numbers boost.
How do you deal with that? Obviously, I know that's one of the unfortunately black eyes of our brand, is that we don't always get the participation at practice. Sometimes players feel like they run the asylum. Obviously, it's a little bit different with you guys, and I commend you for that. But how do you kind of deal with that?
Transparency.
Okay.
Transparency is what works for us. I mean, when we have our players page or what have you on all my teams, and the league fees. If a player's not playing, he says, "Oh, it's the coach doesn't like me," whatever. No, if you look on the page, they owe money, and that's why they're inactive. And it's hard. And I've gained a reputation with the players of being a little bit of a hard, and part of it is because I just understand that if I'm a player on the roster and somebody else has really good ability, but they're not paying, that's not the level that we're on.
Right.
If you're going to get paid, there's leagues for that. It's called the NFL and the Canadian Football League or what have you. So if the agreement is everybody's going to put in, for the Patriots, like $150, which is not that much money, and
right.
We have opportunities for players with jobs and things like that. So it's about the commitment to the team. So when everybody understands from day one that everybody's committed and everybody should be putting in as a whole, then it makes that other conversation so much easier.
Well, we want to thank you, Mr. Patterson, for coming in today. And this is another example of a vision, because you had the vision and you're putting it all together, and it's working for you.
Before you get out of here, Dave, give your website information how people can reach out to you on your leagues or with the Patriots.
Absolutely. The Pioneer League is pioneer-league.com, and we're all over the Bronx 5 boroughs. We're going to do some expansion, and maybe I'll be back in a couple of months to discuss that with you.
And please, if you come back, know one thing: bring some apparel for the host here. You
not
come in here
apparel.
empty-handed. I'm wearing hoodies and stuff. But thanks for coming, Dave. Appreciate your continued success, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Take it out.
When we come back, we're going to come back with Pastor Ross Myrie. This is TFL, Catch the Vision.
The Matrix Studios Network, coming to you straight out of the Bronx.
Truth can hurt
home of the
you.
independent and unsigned.
Welcome back, by the way.
Oh, thank you. This is OJ Juice Man Jones, baby. I got the juice, I got the sauce. This is the PFL. I'm JJ Carter. Fridge is no longer here. He's the head coach now, so he got heavy duties,